All right, geometry quiz 1.1 to 1.4 review. Let's get right after it. So the first three, we have this picture of the right, two planes intersecting. We got to make some sense of it. It says name an opposite ray. So remember, an opposite ray has to have the same endpoint, and one goes in one direction and the other goes exactly in the opposite direction. But they share the same endpoint. So I have to be an opposite ray to GF. Well, GF starts here and blasts that way. So if I'm opposite to him, I have to start at the same spot and form a straight line and go the other way. So we start at G, we go through E, and I need the ray symbol up above. Got to have it exactly in that order with that notation. Number two, now we're getting into lengths or distances here. So when I come back, it says that E to G, remember this is the distance, from E to G is 7. So this little piece right here has a length of 7, maybe inches or centimeters or something. E to F, well, E to F is the whole thing, all the way over there. That's 11. So we need to find the missing piece. We need to find, well, how long is this side? So basically 7 plus what equals 11? Or you could do 11 take away 7, and you should get an answer of 4. Correct answer there is 4. Which of the following is the intersection or the overlap of two planes? Well, the overlap of the two planes, where they meet, they share this spot right here, all the way down. So right now it kind of looks like segment HI. Technically planes go forever, so this line would go forever. So it's actually line HI. That would be the intersection or the overlap where they cross for both planes. Find AD, oh, that's for the next picture. So let's scroll down. We got a little bit of a number line here. So find AD, there's no notation, so that means find the distance or the length. So from A to D, that's going to go from here right to there. And so we're going from a -9 all the way over to a -1. Well, how far is it from -9 to -1? We could just subtract those two numbers if we wanted to. Or you could just kind of ignore the negatives and be like, well, how far is it from 9 to 1? So it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a distance of 8 there. What coordinate is smack dab in the middle, or the midpoint of CG? Well, the middle of CG, a couple different ways to do this. I'm going from a -4 all the way to a +8. Well, that means there's 4 on this side of 0 and 8 on that side of 0. So there's 12 spaces from C to G. So you could say, well, the middle is going to be, half of that 12 will be 6 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right there is going to be in the middle. Because now I'm going to have 6 here, and I'm going to have 6 here. So the coordinate would be 2. Another way you could do it is you could just take the average to find the midpoint. You could just average these two coordinates, average the ends. So do a -4, add it to 8, and chop it in half. The average, you just add them up and divide by how many there is. So you get 4 divided by 2, which would also be 2. All right, number 6, we move down here to the bottom. Find the length of segment IH. So we're missing the left side. We know the total is 14. We know that this side is 6, so 14 take away 6 should give me 8. Ooh, number 7, we got a little bit of algebra here. So here's where we're going to kind of have to step up our game a little bit. Number 7 says M is between N and L, not the midpoint. So it's not in the middle. Write the equation, solve for X. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to say this piece, the left piece, N to M, when I add that to the right piece, when I add that to 6, M to L, it should equal the whole thing from N to L. So it's kind of like left, little plus little equals big, if you want to think of it that way. Well, let's write down our values. N to M, well, that's 2x minus 3. And then M to L is just 6. And that's going to equal the whole thing, which is 7 plus x. Well, now we got some algebra to do. We got to gather up some like terms. So over here on the left, I have to combine this negative 3 and that positive 6. So 2x plus 3 equals 7 plus x. Well, both sides are tightened up. Now I have to just get all my x's to one side, get all my numbers to the other. So I think I'm going to subtract this x and subtract that x. And I'll end up with x plus 3 equals 7. And then to get rid of the plus 3, I minus 3, and I get x equals 4. Now, am I done? What did they want? Yeah, they just said solve for x. Now, if you want to see if you did it right, you could take this x and plug it in, and you'll get 7 plus 4. You would get 11 for this piece. And then if you plug this 4 in up here, 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 3 is 5. And yeah, 5 plus 6 equals 11. So I think I did it right. Classifying is just naming. We got to classify them by how many degrees they are. Well, this one is called a straight angle because it's wide open. This one appears to be a right angle. Technically there should probably be a little line there. And this one over here should be obtuse. Looks like I missed a number in there. Looks like I have, I guess that wasn't a straight angle. I guess this was where I was supposed to write the answer. I'm supposed to put right in there. Remember, acute is less than 90. Obtuse is greater than 90. All right, 10 and 11. This is the angle addition postulate. I believe this was in section 1.3. So we got to label these angles properly. So find the measure of CDE. So CDE. So we got to find this big obtuse angle here. But we know the measure of CDI is 40. So CDI, C to D to I, that's that little piece. So you're 40. And I to D to E, I to D to E, it's almost 90. It's 92. So to find the blue angle, you just got to add the other two up. So 40 plus 92 should be 132 degrees. Number 11, EFG. So this time they give me the big dog. They tell me from E to F to G. So all of this, almost half a circle, which is 180. Almost we're at 165. And then they tell me EFL. EFL is 78. And they're like, hey, how long is LFG? So they're like, how long is that? Well, this is a subtraction problem because I know the big, I know one of the small pieces. So 165, take away 78. That's going to be 87, I believe. So technically, I should say the measure of angle LFG is 87 degrees. I wanted to be super proper. Next page. What does this supplement to somebody that measures 63? Well, two angles are supplements if they add up to 180. So basically, 63 plus what is 180? Subtract 63 from 180, you'll get 117. What is the complement? Complement, remember, is 90 degrees. So I got to find somebody that adds up with 48 to make 90. 48 plus what equals 90? Another subtraction problem. 42 degrees. Number 14, we got this crazy picture over here to the right. Set up an algebra equation to solve for x. So, well, I'm looking at this picture and I'm trying to make sense and see, well, who has to add up to what? I do see a little 90-degree mark here. So I do see that all of this together is 90. So I know that this angle plus this angle equals 90 degrees. So I'm going to write that out. I'm going to say the top angle plus the bottom angle equals 90 degrees. And now we got to solve it. So on the left-hand side, I have to combine some like terms. I got 7x's and 3x's. 10 x's. I have a plus 4 and a plus 26. Well, that's a plus 30. And now I just solve. I minus 30 from both sides. And I get 10x equals 60. Divide by 10, divide by 10. And it looks like x equals 6. And that is the bell. Pause this video and I'll finish it up. And we're live. All right. So just double checking my answer. I'm going to take this 6 and I'm going to plug it in. So 7 times 6 is 42 plus 4 is 50. And I'm going to put in the bottom. 3 times 6 is 18. 18, something happened. Oh, 7 times 6 is 42 plus 4, that's 48. And then 3 times 6 is 18 plus 26. Something's not going right here. Let me just see if I made a mistake somewhere. 7 times 6 is 42. Oh, 42 plus 4, if I could add right, that's 46. And then 3 times 6 is 18. That's 44. Yep, they add up to 90, so I know that this looks good. All right, moving right on down. Number 15. Oh, use the value to find GCF. GCF. All right. Well, let's see how we can figure this one out. Hayden. All right, number 15. When I first did this problem, I had a brain fart, and I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. But when we did number 14, we ended up with x equals 6. That was our answer from 14. So we're going to use that value for GCF. So GCF is right here, and it's 11 times x. And I now know that x is 6, so 11 times 6 would be 60, 6 degrees. High school football number. Number 16 says, if the measure of AOB, that's this guy, is 25. Well, I see markings on here. That means they're equal. So you're 25. And then AOD, A to O to D is the big dog. All of that, all 3 pieces of pizza are 114. Find BOC. So we're trying to figure out what's this pizza slice right here in the middle. So right now I got 25 and 25 is 50. It all adds up to 114. So it looks like 64 degrees is the answer to that one. All right, number 17, 2 angles are supplementary. So something plus something. I'll give you guys some hints in class on this. Add up to 180. One angle is 6 more than 3 times the other. Well, the other, I don't know anything about it, so I'm going to just call it x. But the other angle is 6 more than 3 times that. So now I have an expression I can solve. 4x plus 6 is 180. I want to get x by itself. So 4x equals 174. And then divide. And it looks like I'm going to get a decimal on this one, which kind of sucks. So 4 goes into 17 4 times. With 1 left over, that's 14. 4 goes into 14, 3. So it looks like 43 and a half, which is kind of weird. And then when I subtract from 180, 1 second, brother, it comes out to be $136.5. So that one's kind of weird. The 2 angles weren't nice, friendly degrees. They ended up being decimals. All right, it's bonus time. Let's do this last one. This one looks like something that was on the practice and on the video notes. Ray BD bisects ABC. So let me draw this out. So I'm going to draw out ABC. BD bisects. Remember, bisect means chop in half. So these two are equal. ABC is 4x plus 5. So that's the whole thing. So there's my 4x plus 5. And ABD, which is the little guy, he's 3x minus 1. But if they're both equal, then this dude's 3x minus 1. So what is the value of x? So it looks like I have to play little plus little equals big. So little plus little equals big. Let's do some housekeeping. Looks like I got 6 x's. Take away 2. And let's get all my x's to one side. So I'm going to attack the smaller x. And I'm going to have 2x minus 2 equals 5. Lordy, lordy, this thing's full of decimals. Add 2 to both sides. 2x equals 7. Divide both sides by 2. And looks like x is going to have to be 3.5 to make that thing work out. Sometimes life is messy. All right. Hopefully that helps you out. Get you ready for the quiz tomorrow. See you.